The off-season is over. Welcome to the Homestead-Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida. We are here at this 1.5-mile racetrack to open up the final season of the NR2003 Trinity River Cup Series. In the past 4 seasons, we've opened up at Daytona, but we're doing something a little different this year. We had the clash at Eldora 1 weekend ago. Chase Buck for Monkey Buck Racing got the victory there, and that, well, it was on the dirt. We're back on the asphalt for the remainder of this season, and if you saw qualifying yesterday afternoon, it was Mitchell Henderson on the pole position for Team Velocity. He will lead the field to the green flag momentarily. And welcome in here live on the Trinity River Network. I am joined alongside Elijah Leonard for the call of this race. Elijah, it's good to have you up here in the booth for the first time here in the Trinity River Cup Series. Tell me, so we've seen plenty of races here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway, and last year it was for the season finale. This time it's for the season opener. What is going through these drivers' head as they prepare for this 32 race season?
I'd say for the most part, a lot of these drivers have been geared towards this race as the championship race. But now, as you mentioned, since this is the opening race, of course, the first thing on everybody's mind is trying to get the season started off right. But also on the other side of the note, these drivers are definitely going to be focused, mostly on just trying to get the season started off right because, you know, everybody would just gear towards this race as the championship event. But nonetheless, I mean, I bet these drivers are going to be really nervous once they take this green flag for the first time on this final season of the Trinity River Cup Series. I mean, even I'm excited too. I mean, this is definitely going to be something.
It's certainly got to rewire the way they think about it. Instead of ending the championship season, they're setting themselves on their stride for the rest of the championship season. Speaking of champions, the defending series champion Nicholas Samadillo in the 98 got the championship here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway in a thrilling battle with Kyle McLeese 1 season ago. Samadillo back with NS Blackout Motorsports in the Advanced 98. Kyle McLeese jumping ship from Team Ninja Rapids over to the Logan Sports Stable, and both drivers looked very fast at Eldora. Although Samadillo was caught up in an incident, McLeese was actually caught up in a few on the dirt 1 week ago. We'll have to see how things go for them and the rest of the field, the rest of the 40 cars here for the Florida 500 here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Let's go down trackside. We'll get you a full starting lineup, your Buc-ee's race report, and we'll get this race going. The 30-minute qualifying session yesterday afternoon led to Mitchell Henderson claiming the pole for Team Velocity, and his Red Bull Honda Civic will lead the field to the green flag alongside driver the number 54 for Monkey Buck Racing, Chase Harris, who won at Fontana 1 year ago and then had a dismal season over at Trinity River Racing. He's looking to have a better season in 2023. Row number 2, we find 3-time points-paying winner Sebastian Kukulon, who won twice in 2022, won the last chance qualifier at Eldora 1 week ago, and he's looking to set himself on a stride of a championship season that has eluded him his entire career, including a second place in 2021. He starts alongside rookie Brandon Hayes. In row number 3, we find Brickyard 400 winner from 1 year ago, Brock Nelson, the 73. He starts alongside a driver who's winless so far in his career, but look for Brad Stover to potentially finally put a 1 in the win column here in 2023. Row number 4, we find Blake Parker in the 14 out of All-Star Speed's team, another driver that has yet to win a race. He starts alongside William Bruck, who's never won a Trinity River Cup race, but he has a Scots National win to his career tally. Rounding out the top 10, we find Braden Perez in the 47, who is still winless in his Cup career. He starts alongside the defending vice champion of the series, Kyle McLeese. Elijah, we got a lot of good drivers there starting up front. Who do you think is going to win this race tonight at Homestead?
Honestly, it could be pretty much anybody, but if I had to keep my eyes on somebody, it would have to be somebody like Cannon Biller. He's definitely had a lot of speed last year. Let's see how he does this year.
Caden Biller, good pick. But the season is underway. The Florida 500, presented by Valvoline, is underway at Homestead. 3 wide as they come out of turn number 4. Nelson down to the inside of Kukulon and Henderson. Ooh. Henderson shuffled immediately. Nelson leads lap number 1 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Parker trying to follow through on the inside there in car number 14 as Kukulon and Henderson slip wide. They're 4 wide for the 4th position.
They are 4 wide, and Brock Nelson just bullied his way to the lead. They are 4 wide as they go into turn number 3. I don't know how well this is going to go, but you see Mitchell Henderson almost getting into the outside wall.
He caught it there.
Coming off of turn number 4. I am surprised of how well they managed to hold together on that one, but they're still 4 wide going into turn 1.
Whoa, the 2 Mitchells. Oh. Collins and Henderson slide wide, almost caused an incident. But they held on to it, and Brock Nelson is out of here for the moment. But 3 and 4 wide behind him as Collins slides wide again. Almost 5 wide.
This is nuts. I really don't know.
Oh, trouble! There goes William Brock. Jacob Thibodeau around. Colin T gets a piece. Thibodeau holds on to it, and Brock slides down to the inside. May have just nicked the inside wall ever so slightly. And on lap number 4, the first caution of the season is out here in the Florida 500 at Homestead, and Brock Nelson will easily lead the field around to the caution flag. Harris second, it'll be Crown, and then Kukulon Perez, the top 5. And, well, we'll let the officials sort everything out as the field comes around. Some of them already got the caution flag, and maybe something a little extra, perhaps a little further back. Look, nah, I think they were just getting in order, I think is what happened there. But see William Brock in the 59 coming around. Not a whole lot of damage on that 59, so not a brutal incident by any means, but it easily could have been a lot worse, but looks like we're going to have the guys come down pit road already.
I wouldn't be surprised if I saw maybe a few 2-tire pit stops or maybe some slash and goes out of this field, but it is lap number 5. Well, lap number 5 coming to lap 6 this time around as they cross the line in the pits, but should be interesting to see what the strategy is going to be here, especially from our leaders.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see any stop and goes either. Brock Nelson, who started in the 5th position, led the field around to the caution flag, and looks like we're going to see a lot of 2-tire stops, and maybe we might have some 4-tire stops. This was supposed to be a 2-stop race, and they would come down at lap 30 and 60. So I guess these drivers are banking on this being one of the cautions, one of the pit cycles that we have as far as the rest of the race is concerned. Unfortunately there, as you saw a little further back, that's the reason we have collisions disabled on the pit road. But Nelson just barely edges out Chase Harris at the head end of pit road. It is Nelson, Harris, Caleb Rose with a huge jump there in car number 15. Roberto Crown Jr. in 4th, Kukulon 5th, and then Samadio, Perez, Parker, Zidell, and McLeese. Unofficially, we will let the officials sort that out in just a moment, but for now, it is Brock Nelson leading the way. He will get us to the green flag here momentarily. Real quick, let's go back and take a look at what happened to bring out caution number 1 here in the Florida 500 at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. So here we are watching from overhead as 4 and almost 5 wide coming out of turn number 4. So it looks like Cologne in the 12 is going to slip up into the 59 of William Brock, down into the 32 of Jacob Thibodeau, and the 59 and 32 spin around. Colin T gets a little piece of it as he goes down into the yellow paint, but Thibodeau, a great 360 save there, but Brock is going to go down and just tap the inside safer barrier ever so slightly. To be honest, I don't even think it skimmed the paint. But that is what brought out the first caution of this Florida 500 at Homestead. Let's take a look at it at full speed.
Well, it's always just the very beginning of the races where kind of, especially in a single file restart. But nonetheless, though, just so much happening there within that short period of time, and unfortunately, William Brock just gets the worst end of that one, and he came out with no damage, though. Well, actually minimal damage, but still, nonetheless, he's still going to continue on in that number 59 machine.
William Brock driving the 59 that finished second in the championship one season ago, with Kyle McLeese behind the wheel. And this is not the way he wanted his season to start off, but even though he's going to be restarting this race further back, he is still very much in contention. But the track is clear now. We are good to go. So let's head to the restart here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Welcome back to your live picture here on the Trinity River Network. Race number 1 of the 2023 Trinity River Cup Series season, the Florida 500, presented by Valvoline. Caution number 1 coming out for a 3-car jam session on the front straightaway with William Brock, Jacob Thibodeau, and Colin Teague, the worst of which went to William Brock, although nobody falling out of the race, so easily could have been a lot worse, all things considered. But it is Brock Nelson leading the way. He's going to lead the field to the green flag here as they round turn 3 and 4. It is Chase Harris there in second. Caleb Rose has moved up to third early on. Good run for him so far. Have to see how he does the rest of the night. And then it's Roberto Crown Jr., Sebastian Kukulon, Nicholas Samadio, Braden Perez, and Blake Parker, Blake Parker, the Justin Zidell, and then Kyle McLeese, the top 10, as we get the green flag here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway.
Wow.
We're going 3 wide for the lead already on the restart. Caleb Rose with a bonsai move down low.
They are wasting no time at all. They just wrestle Brock Nelson out of the way. You see Caleb Rose there in the 15, still battling side by side with Chase Harris, but I think Rose is going to get the spot easily, clears them coming off of turn number 4, but man, let's see how long they do with a single file restart. So far, they're holding up on their own right now.
Roberto Crown Jr. there in the 3, new driver to the Wisconsin Racing Incorporated team, and owner Ben Young. That car piloted 1 season ago by Christopher Alphaby, who won at Richmond. And so, Roberto Crown Jr. has some shoes to fill. He was at Logansport 1 season ago, did not win a race, has not won in his Trinity River Cup Series career, but looking to get it done here in 2023. Could it be tonight? Caleb Rose won at Willow Springs 1 season ago. He leads the way now. He's run pretty well in the ovals too. I believe he was the only other... Was it 2 Velocitar cars or 1 that finished in the top 10 in the points last season? I think it was Rose and Garcia, or it was either just Garcia and not Rose. But either way, Rose had a tremendous season 1 year ago and having a tremendous start to the night. Here's Sebastian Kukulon going to the inside of Roberto Crown Jr. for that second spot. Brock Nelson trying to follow through.
And all of that happening, this is allowing Caleb Rose to pull away here. You see Kukulon clear the 3 for second. Brock Nelson starting to come back, and we see this 25 of Eric Monaco starting to shake things up as he enters the frame.
Mr. Monaco, the Reese's Aston Martin down to the inside for Dracoan Racing Enterprises. And owner Owen Miles moves into the 4th position, but Crown not making it easy, trying to fight him on the outside as they round turn number 2. Now Monaco will take the spot away.
Made it. That was definitely some really textbook racing there from Eric Monaco. Now the 3 is going to fall into the clutches of the 54 of Harris. Let's see how well this battle holds up. It looks like the 3 of Roberto Crown Jr. still holding on the outside, but going through turn 1, I think that's where the most grip is. That's where the mostly the runs are as they come off of turn number 2.
It does seem to be the case here early on. Here's Eric Monaco going down to the inside of Brock Nelson, and up ahead, Sebastian Kukulon trying to get to the inside of Caleb Rose. Trinity River Racing has a win at Homestead with Sam and Oskin in Season 3. Here is Kukulon trying to replicate what his former teammate did 2 years ago.
Oh, man, but watch your inside. You got the 25 of Monaco trying to get there.
Oh, that jammed everybody up going through the corner.
And that almost caused some 4 wide, but luckily Rose hangs on to that top position, and there's still 3 wide now going in turn 3.
And now 4 wide. Harris and Nelson in the middle. Kugelon slips backwards next to his teammate Keegan Thompson in the 23.
Yeah, that really hurt Sebastian Kugelon there. Remember, he started 3rd in this race, was as high as 2nd position, and now he slips all the way back to 7th, maybe 8th, and might lose a couple more spots here if he stays up on that outside line for too long.
Up ahead, Eric Monaco is left to challenge Caleb Rose for that top position. Chase Harris going after Brock Nelson for 3rd. Try to keep both these battles in the shot as side by side. Now between the 73 and the 54 as they head off into turn number 1. Thompson trying to make it a 3-way battle.
You also got Roberto Crown Jr. following in the tire tracks of Keegan Thompson, that's looking to try to make it a 4-car battle here. Let's see what happens going into turn number 3. Nelson backs off, and Thompson slides up. That opens the door for Crown Jr. Meanwhile, up front, Monaco still trying to look, but the battles are pretty much up here right now. It's, 6 cars wrap underneath the blanket for 3rd as Monaco goes for the lead.
Here comes the Rhesus Aston Martin, and that is going to allow Thompson and everybody else behind to close in. This is the break they needed. That big gap could shrink as Eric Monaco goes to the point. And now we have our 3rd different leader in this race. Brock Nelson, Caleb Rose, Eric Monaco now leads at the Homestead-Miami Speedway.
Well, watch Caleb Rose. Rose ended up getting a run, going through 3 and 4. He's going to try it again, try to take the lead back, going through 1 and 2.
And they're going to be side by side coming out of turn number 2. Keegan Thompson there in the 23. The Mac Tools colors, new to Trinity River Racing, had a all-right season for Logan Sport last year. His 4th full-time season, actually, of Trinity River Cup competition, but has not won since October of 2020 at the Orlando International Speedway in what was the 2nd season of competition as he closes in mightily on the Honda Civic of Caleb Rose.
Man, that was a really good run through turns 1 and 2 there for Keegan Thompson. He's going to try to make it 3 wide. Monaco's going to back off. Rose is going to have the position for the moment, but for how much longer? Keegan Thompson drives to the inside. Coming off of turn number 4, Rose is going to lead the stripe, but it's not over quite yet. Monaco's coming back.
Man!
They hit hard!
And pushing him up the racetrack, we're 3 wide for the lead. Eric Monaco down to the inside. And goodness gracious, that's bringing Perez back into it, a fellow Toyota out of Pacific Hamel Racing. But now Monaco trying to nose ahead of Thompson. Perez trying to join as Rose slips backwards.
That was really random there. I've never seen any sort of door slamming for the lead going through turns 1 and 2, but nonetheless, they're still keeping the car straight. We're still going. Monaco's going to take it. Perez is going to dive low and try to take advantage.
Down the backstretch they go one more time. And remember, we came down the pit road at lap 6 under that caution. And we have been green for the last, since lap about 8 or 9. So expect the cycle to be around lap 35 or 36 when we start to see cars coming down into the pit road. As Perez and Thompson up into the wall! The two Toyotas slam the outside retainer!
Oh my goodness, that is going to hurt their runs. Oh man, the 23 almost came down in front of another car.
That was Mitchell Henderson, the Red Bull 53, Caleb Rose's teammate. Mitchell Henderson, who sat on the pole for this race, is up front. That is, or not up front, that is for second, actually. Eric Monaco's so far out in front right now, I'm getting confused. That's second place, Blake Parker in the 14. Roberto Crown Jr. is third. And then now a three-way battle for that fourth position. Stover, rookie Anthony McClure, and Caleb Rose.
McClure is going to be in the middle here if the 9 gets to the inside, but looks like that's not going to be the case. He tucks right back in behind Anthony McClure. Brad Stover in that 99 starting to lose a little bit of ground. Wouldn't be surprised if he makes it up here going through 1 and 2.
Heading off into turn 1 and 2 once again. Parker left to chase down the 25 of Eric Monaco. The difference 1.19 seconds the last time through. Wisconsin Racing Incorporated teammates are 3rd and 4th right now. Roberto Crown Jr. and Anthony McClure. Here's McClure going to the inside. Not quite there as Crown got the run on the high side out of the corner, but 5/100ths of a second taken off of the lead gap between Eric Monaco and Blake Parker, and another rookie, Max Sterling, is starting to make his presence known in the 17.
Man, Sterling, and again, we really haven't talked a lot about somebody like Max Sterling, and now here he is, poof, inside of the top 10, and now he's going after Brock Nelson. That's the battle for 9th. We've also got another car coming up here, one of them, that we really haven't talked about a whole lot. That's Brandon Hayes in the 84. Hayes is now starting to follow through the 17, trying to get up inside of the top 10 here.
Got to give a big attaboy to all 3 rookies running up in the top 10, McClure, Sterling, and Hayes. This looks like it could be an incredible rookie battle for the rest of this season, but veteran Marty Sakala, who won twice last season, going down to the inside as out of turn 4 behind, Parrish and Lightning were bouncing off each other like ping pong balls. But they hold on to it, and somehow, some way, we're still going.
And they were 3 wide coming off of turn number 2. I'm surprised of how they managed to back off there. 3 wide here, 3 and 4. Hayes in the middle, Zakala on the bottom, and they get out of this one.
Zakala bulldozed to the inside there to get that position, and now Crown's going to do the same to Caleb Rose, and that will benefit Crown's teammate, Anthony McClure.
And McClure still down around that inside. I mean, they're still 3 wide. I mean, very much still. McClure's going to clear this. Caleb Rose almost getting into the outside wall, but he's got a big enough gap between himself and the wall. I think he might have just hit it right there.
He just clipped it a little bit. Yes, he did. But he saw the outside anyways, and the inside's really been rubbering in as this run's gone on. And so Caleb Rose is in serious trouble for the time being. But Eric Monaco still leads the way in car number 25 as this battle continues on.
Man.
As McClure slides up 4 wide as Sterling gets down low.
Man, Sterling. I gotta give big props to Max Sterling there. He definitely, backed off a little bit, but definitely, I definitely have to give a little bit of props to him, man. He shoved it in there, and he tried to make it work down through turn number 4, but just didn't quite get the job done there. But I was going to say something about Eric Monaco's lead. If you've been noticing, he's been slowly pulling away from that 14 ever so slightly, more and more and more. But no longer is the 14 of Blake Parker in second. Now Brad Stover takes that second position away. Now 2 seconds between himself and Brad Stover. But
that is
at least for Monaco.
Yeah, and that is exactly why Monaco has been pulling away, because they've been shuffling around like a deck of cards. So Stover is into the second position. Newcomer to All-Star Speed Team, Christian Vargas, who finished 11th in the standings 1 year ago, runs in the third position. His now teammate Blake Parker, the Gulfstream Chevrolet, trying to get to the inside as a little further back. Looks like Kugelon slow on the outside. I wonder if he might have clipped the wall a little bit. But here's Paul-Antoine Sierra. We're going to try 4 wide again.
Oh, man. This is, again, we've seen 4 wide before. 4 wide work here before, but it doesn't usually work for long. Oh, boy.
Ace Garcia, the 52, who won twice for Team Velocitar last year, hammers the wall! Caleb Rose down into Nelson! And trouble! Anthony McClure goes around! Trey Smith, Season 3 champion, involved!
No.
Sebastian Kugelon gets a piece, and just before we were going to get to the pit cycle, we go back under yellow.
And that is a tough break for somebody like Sebastian Kugelon, who has been in contention for the good first half of his race, and unfortunately gets involved in an incident that he was just an innocent bystander in, and now he's going to be way in the back for this one.
And of course, on top of that, the humongous lead that Eric Monaco had. You see 2.2 seconds that time through is now nothing. That lead is nothing, and they will most definitely come down the pit road under this caution flag. It's certainly going to make things close by the end of this race. It's a 67 lapper. See, if we only had a 54 lapper, we'd be able to make it to the end, but those extra 13 laps are definitely going to make things interesting as far as the fuel strategy goes the rest of the way. Monaco down into his stall. Stover's got to go a little further along, as does Parker and Hayes. They'll head down a little further to the head end of pit road, and we'll wait and see who wins the race off here. But a very topsy-turvy cycle that was, Elijah.
Man, and this is definitely going to shake up how this restart is going to unfold here. Like, who's going to get a better restart? Who's going to bully their way to the Who's going to bulldoze their way through the field? Top 10 look at this strategy from Brad
What a pit stop for Brad Stover in the 99.
Man, just pulled out
Eric
ahead.
Monaco. And Monaco, he definitely did not want to see that caution, and he was worried this would happen. Stover's team, with an incredible stop, gets him off first, and he'll lead the field to the green flag in just a moment. And of course, the officials are going to have a field day while we're looking at the incident replay. The officials are going to have a field day trying to figure out the order of everything, but we'll have it all in order by the time we get to the restart in just a few moments. But real quick, let's go and take a look at what happened to bring out the second caution of this race here. And actually, real quick, before we do, looks like Gordon, the 76, coming back down the pits for something else. Maybe a little more adjustment on the Nissan Altima.
Might have had a loose lug nut there on that pit stop. You never know.
Well, that'd be a bad thing because these things have single lugs now. So
yeah,
that would be a terrible thing if that was the case. But second caution is out here at Homestead. We'll get you the replay now of what took place to bring it out. So watching from overhead again, 4 wide coming out of turn number 4, but up ahead is where the trouble's going to start there as McClure gets into the back of Caleb Rose, down into Brock Nelson, and then Rose back up into the 24, sends McClure into the outside wall, and then along comes Sebastian Kukulon there, the 82. Trey Smith comes in, piles into the 82. Justin Zidell, the 83, nowhere to go. Mitchell Henderson, the pole sitter for tonight's race, goes all the way up from the bottom third lane to the top to get around the spinning 24 of Anthony McClure. Great heads-up driving for the Velocistar driver. That is what brought out the second caution of this Florida 500. Let's take a look at full speed.
Just drivers going for everything that they can here. You see McClure get into the 15, who gets into the 73, then bounces back into the 24, and then from there, not a whole lot of room for Sebastian Kukulon, who is having such a really good race all the way up until this point. But also tough break for I want to say that was the number 10 machine of Trey Smith, who was just an innocent bystander right there. Not a whole lot he could do there.
Trey Smith, Season 3 champion of the series, getting caught up in that one. Not the way he wanted his first race with All-Star Speed Team to go, but that is what brought out the second caution of the race. The track is clear. We're good to go. Brad Stover will lead us to the green flag momentarily, so let's head to the restart at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. We're back with your live coverage here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway, the Florida 500 presented by Valvoline, race 1 of 32 in the 2023 Trinity River Cup Series, live on the Trinity River Network. And this caution coming out for a multi-car spin on the front straightaway, but nobody falling out of the race yet again. Not terribly hard impacts in this incident, but it is now Brad Stover leading the way. He leapfrogged Eric Monaco in the pits this time through. And speaking of pits, we came We came down the pit road, about 32 laps to go. That means pit strategy, fuel economy is going to be a huge factor to the end. We are set for, if it goes the rest of the way, it will most definitely be a fuel mileage finish. So get your calculators ready, because it is time to go green flag racing once again in the Florida 500. And what a restart by Brad Stover.
He definitely had to be on the gas right there for Brett Stover. 3 wide here for 3rd position, and that is going to screw over Blake Parker, who's just going to lose 4, 5, maybe 6 positions here as we race into turn 3.
Oh, and Sakala gives the boot to Sterling into turn number 3, and he'll get to 3rd right away. Both of his wins last year came on mile-and-a-half tracks, Las Vegas, and then Atlanta Motor Speedway. Marty knows how to run good at mile-and-a-half tracks, and he's showing it once again here with 28 laps to go.
He might try to get 2 birds with 1 stone here. With the way that he's been driving like a man on a mission. He might wrestle Eric Monaco out of 2nd position. But look at the 17, almost getting into that outside wall. He's going to just
he got it there. As they were 4 wide coming out of the corner, Sear, the benefactor from that. Hayes slips in behind the 7, but here comes Mitchell Collins in the 43, who went winless 1 season ago after a 3-win 2021 campaign. Here's Eric Monaco going back to the inside of Stover.
And that's for the race lead. And in the meantime, you've got Marty Sakala looking on. And I think he's going to go with a 25 here on this inside line. Let's see what happens. Is he going to make the dive bomb move going into turn number 1? No.
He did to an extent, but Stover powers it back on the outside. His teammate, Brandon Hayes, sits in the 4th position for the moment. He's a little preoccupied with Mitchell Collins for the time being, but as long as these guys are battling, that should allow everybody back here to close in, but now they're going to go side by side. Collins down inside of Hayes with Roberto Crown Jr. waiting in the wings if they tangle.
Man, they start to slide up a little bit. That's going to open the door for Roberto Crown Jr. to make it 3 abreast. Let's see if Brandon Hayes is going to back out of this one. He will. And now he's going to have to regroup a little bit, quickly regroup, or else that number 91 looks like a Priya McShane is going to pounce.
Priya McShane for the new Oskin Motorsports, owned by 5-time race winner Samet Oskin, who won the aforementioned Season 3 the 2021 Homestead race, the first race that season anyways.
Oh, we're going
he won that race, and now we're going 4 wide back there, but we've got side by side for the lead as Stover tried to get to the inside of Monaco, and Marty tried to get in between them, but not able to. And now it looks like Stover is going to take... Oh, that was close!
Man, that was really, really, really close right there.
Whoa!
Oh, once again!
He tried diving it in on Monaco, but got up into Sakala. Thankfully, they did not go up into the wall that time, but it is still side by side for the lead as Monaco barely led the lap that time through. And we're still side by side going through 3 and 4. Monaco outside, Stover inside, and Stover will lead this lap.
Man, that dive bomb move from Stover definitely hurt Marty Sakala's not performance, but more so his momentum than anything. But he's not going to be denied yet. He pulls right up to the back bumper of the 99 of Brad Stover, and Roberto Crown Jr. pulls right up into this, and so does Mitchell Collins.
A 5-car battle for the lead. Here comes Marty Sakala down to the inside of Brad Stover at the line. Stover by a nose for the time being at 21 laps to go.
Oh, look at Monaco.
Oh, 3 wide as Monaco gets down to the inside.
Oh boy, Eric Monaco is another guy that will not be denied the win from this race at all whatsoever. He definitely wants to start off the season on the right foot.
Look at
but
Crown.
So does Roberto Crown Jr. Look at this move.
3 wide out of turn number 4. Stover pushes Sakala on through, and the second place battle is with three guys who have never won a race in the Trinity River Cup Series. Collins, a three-time winner, now makes his presence known from the 5th position, down to the inside of Stover and Crown.
My goodness gracious, what great racing we're starting to see here up inside of the top 5 with less than 20 laps to go this time around. Monaco drives up to the back bumper of Zakela. Let's see if he makes the move into turn 1. There he goes.
And Zakela slips up on the outside. That's going to make it even better for Monaco down on the inside. And looks like he's going to get the spot. Down the back straightaway. He clears him.
That was a textbook style pass there for Eric Monaco, but you see there the door has been opened for Roberto Crown Jr. to drive to the inside of Zakela there for that 2nd position. He's going to nab it right at the line, but going through turn 1, oh man, he opened the door a little bit too long for Mitchell Collins to drive underneath, and he's going to bring Stover with him.
Down to the inside goes Collins and Stover. Crown in the middle, Zakela on the high side. That's going to bring Alejandro Cruz Jr. and Christian Vargas, the drivers who quite literally swapped rides in the offseason. They're running in back-to-back positions now, but not anymore as Cruz gets around Marty Zakela.
I don't think we've even talked a lot about Alejandro Cruz at all, and here he is. Like I said, inside of 20 laps to go, and he's up inside of the top 5. He might have something to say here by the time this race is over.
Look at how this entire lead group has just accordioned together. Priya McShane, the 91, Brock Nelson, the 73, Chase Harris, the 54, at the tail end of this, and there's Ace Garcia and Brandon Hayes not very far behind as Eric Monaco still leads the way. The battle for 3rd is on between Stover and Crown, then Vargas 5th, and side by side for 6th, Zakela and Cruz going after it.
My goodness gracious, but we'll have to definitely keep something in mind here as we get towards the end of the race. You touched on it just before the restart. Fuel economy is definitely going to be on the minds of these drivers. Of course, they're going to have to be racing as hard as possible to try to get as many positions as they can, but they're also going to have to be on defense while they're trying to go into fuel conservation mode. That's going to be really hard to do if you're in a pack like this.
It could be easier if you're up further ahead, like Collins right now could use the draft of that 25 of Eric Monaco, because they only got to go, we're only talking about like a couple of laps here that they would have to make it further than what they've made it, or what they would have made it on the last run had it gone green the entirety of the way, and it did not. So this is going to be very close to the end of this thing. But we are coming around for 13 laps to go. It'll be lap 55 of 67. Eric Monaco slips. So, side by side for 3rd.
Man.
Crown makes it look easy on Christian Vargas.
He pulled right up to the left rear quarter panel of that 05 car. Vargas and Roberto Crown Jr. made that pass work. He moves up into 3rd, and that kicks Vargas back to 4th. And they're 3 wide a little bit further in the back.
Brock Nelson's in the middle of that. Brandon Hayes the inside. Cruz on the outside. Now Sears on the inside of Brock Nelson. But Chase Harris is going to slide up. They're almost going to go 4 wide. They will go 4 wide.
Oh, Harris in the wall.
Oh, that was unfortunate. That was the worst thing that could have possibly happened for Chase Harris as he slips backwards outside the top 10. But the battle rages on for the respective positions as Collins continues to try to pace himself behind Eric Monaco as we get later and later in this race. You see, it looks like they are starting to slow up a little bit. There's Crown and Vargas trying to close in, Stover and Zakela side by side.
And I believe this has also pulled Elijah Gordon into the mix. Oh my goodness gracious. Remember, he came down a pit road. He was about to restart inside of the top 10. He came down pit road, might have had a loose lug nut on one of the tires, and he wrestled his way up inside of the top 5.
He is up around Stover now into that 5th position. From 40th place, he restarted about 10 or 15 laps ago. What a drive!
That is amazing.
Oh, and here
I've never
comes
seen
Collins
anything
down
like
the
that.
inside of Eric
Look
Monaco
at this.
for the race lead. Shell versus Reese's down the backstretch into turn number 3 at 10 laps to go. Mitchell Collins for Fitzwater Collins Racing. Eric Monaco for Dracoan Racing Enterprises. It will be Collins who has the advantage at 9 laps to go, just by a little over half a car length.
They were 4 wide, way in the pack there once we got to that back straightaway shot. But you see right there, Gordon making the move for 4th as Roberto Crown Jr. pulls up on this fight for the lead here. He's trying to make it a 3 wide. Nope, Monaco backs out. But that opens the door wide open for Roberto Crown Jr. to drive to the inside.
And he's going to have the lead for the moment, but Monaco just about turned that 43 of Collins around. Here comes Gordon down to the inside of Monaco. Stover trying to cross underneath the 76.
Oh,
they're 3
man.
wide for 3rd as Crown and Collins are still going at it for the lead.
Man, Gordon left the bottom opened up for just a little bit too long, and that allowed Stover to just drive it in there, and he's making it dig for thus far. This is the battle for 2nd as Roberto Crown Jr. is trying to check out.
Oh, Collins slams the ball out of turn number 4. He's going to slip backwards. Into the 6th position will go Brock Nelson. Gordon tried to take a swing at Crown, not quite able to.
Oh, man, no, but this is going to allow Brad Stover once again to drive underneath Gordon for the 2nd position here as Monaco starts to slip back. Vargas is going to try to take advantage. And how about Brock Nelson? Nelson was up inside of the top 10 at the very beginning of the race. He even bullied his way to the front at the green flag lap. And now here he is inside of the top 10 here, closing in on 5 laps to go here pretty soon.
6 to go that time through. Eric Monaco sits in the 5th position. Now he has challenge coming from Brock Nelson, the 73, singled out for the first 4 positions. As now, never mind, Gordon goes down to the inside, is going to muscle Brad Stover up the racetrack, and he'll take that Nissan into the 2nd position, trying to chase down Roberto Crown Jr. with 5, count 'em, 5 laps to go in the Florida 500.
That's just one more car that Gordon has got to pass if he wants to win this race. This would be an absolute mission right here. Mission accomplished if Gordon can get this done after restarting dead last. They're 4 wide further in the back, but nonetheless, they're still keeping it straight.
Now here's Nelson going down to the inside of Vargas. Monaco down to the... Oh my goodness! Garcia and Sear almost got up into the wall and almost spun around. They held onto it, but we're 4 laps to go. And fuel mileage. Everyone's just got to be yelling on their radio about conserving fuel. Conserve your gasoline before we get to the end of this thing. We'll come around for 3 laps to go. There goes Crown! Down into the pit road. And Troxel will join him in the 62. Late fuel mileage at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Sterling, Buck, the Clash winner, Rose, come down into the pits, as does Justin Seidel and Trey Smith.
And now you gotta wonder who is gonna be one of the drivers that's gonna try to roll the dice and make it all the way to the end of the race. We're just gonna have to find out who else is gonna come in. I think, let's see if Gordon comes
Gordon,
down.
there he goes. Nelson's gonna stay out. 2 laps to go this time through. As Stover, Mitchell Collins, Marty Sakala, Ace Garcia, Paul Antoine Sear, and a whole bunch others come down this time. And it looks like it may just be down to about 3 or 4 drivers for this race win. It is Brock Nelson who leads the way for the moment, but is he going to have to come down?
He might have to here. We're coming to the white flag lap. Let's see what happens
here. Yes, he will! Eric Monaco on the outside. He's going to get around. The win that's eluded him this long in his career could finally be happening as the white flag is out at the Homestead-Miami Speedway.
This would be the call that's definitely gonna get his season started off right here if he can nail this down the back straightaway one more time.
He's got to be careful with the traffic around the outside. He doesn't have to come down this time. He's got 2.6 seconds back to Mitchell Henderson out of turn number 4. Monaco finally wins in the Trinity River Cup Series. He wins the Florida 500 at the Homestead-Miami Speedway.
Wow. That is unreal.
What a way to start the 2023 season. Eric Monaco, career win number 1 in a points-paying race. Career win number 2 on the channel. He won the Clash in 2022 at New Smyrna. And this time, the team calculates perfectly, and Eric Monaco stretches the fuel just enough to make it to the end, and he is gonna lift the big trophy here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's Mitchell Henderson who finishes in the second position, 2.67 seconds behind the Dracoan Racing Enterprises driver. Mitchell Henderson, who started this race on the pole, slipped back, came all the way back to finish second. Excellent drive, regardless, by Mitchell Henderson as Monaco comes down into the pits, and he will be greeted by his crew, a winner for the first time in the Trinity River Cup Series. Let's take a look at the rest of your finishing results. It's Monaco that wins with an average race speed of 149.315 miles per hour by 2.667 seconds ahead of Mitchell Henderson. Roberto Crown Jr. finishes third, Brad Stover fourth, Brock Nelson fifth, and then Priya McShane, Elijah Gordon, Alex Lozano, a surprising top 10 finish, Brandon Hayes, and then Will Parrish rounds out the top 10. And due to the pit calls at the end of the race, only 13 cars finishing. William Brock, Kyle McLeese, well, I mean, you can just see the results there. I'm not going to name every single one of them. We'd have to see 27 different drivers there not finishing on the lead lap due to the late race shenanigans as far as the fuel mileage was concerned. But Elijah, final thoughts about this race that we just saw tonight, and what can we expect for the rest of the season?
Well, first of all, this was definitely a really good, opening race, opening bout to start off the season. Definitely some really good textbook racing, some close calls. Luckily, we got away with just 2 caution flags. I mean, of course, we barely get away with not really get away with a caution-free race, but we rarely have any cautions here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, but still, nonetheless, really great racing, really good heads-up driving by all these drivers, and what a drive for some of these other drivers, especially Eric Monaco, who has been up front throughout a good portion of this race, throughout most of this race, and had probably one of the cars to beat, and he definitely proved it via pit strategy. Great job for Eric Monaco.
Absolutely. Give a call to that 25 crew and that entire Dracoan Racing Enterprises team. Last year they won with Andrew Williams, but it took 19 races for them to get to victory lane at Milwaukee, and this time it only takes 1 points-paying race. Big congratulations to Eric Monaco on your first points-paying win in the Trinity River Cup Series. We'll take a look at your point standings, and next week we will see you at New Smyrna Speedway. We'll have the 2 heats, we'll have an LCQ, and then we'll have the 100-lap main, the Beef. It's What's for Dinner 500. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks again for Elijah Leonard for coming in to call this race. We'll see you next week. Until then, y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one.